Hello, YouTube world. This is Erica, and this is actually my first YouTube video. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I would say since 2011, but obviously it's 2016 now. So 5 years later, I'm just gonna go for it. That's what I decided. See, I kind of wanted to make this as an introduction video and to also sort of touch base on a subject that I feel very strong about, and also sort of a little bit on what I am expecting out of this year for 2016. I am from Oregon, I'm in my 20s. I've been in the advertising industry for 4+ years. Did a double major in marketing and advertising. Oh, on the side, I am a fashion blogger for the past 2-3 years. So I have my own blog, I have my own Instagram account, which for those who have followed me for a while will know that I am constantly on there practically every single day. And I have my Facebook page and then also a Twitter account as well. So I figure why not add YouTube on there to the list. It's definitely a whole new area to me, especially since I'll be working with video and sort of teaching myself with editing and stuff. So I'm definitely a baby in that sense, and I know that there is a lot for me to learn, but I am ready to challenge myself to something new in a new area, and I'm definitely stepping out of my comfort zone for sure. I love photography, so I'm all the pictures that you see and will see, I pretty much take them myself because I'm super, super, super picky, especially if it comes to photography that has to do with myself. I know my angles, I know the lighting, I know exactly what I want and what I'm looking for, and I still have yet to find someone that actually sees what I see. So for the time being, it's pretty much going to be me behind the camera managing the front. I love art. I took art for pretty much all of my years in high school and a little bit when I was in the university. I love anything that has to do with creativity. I'm very visual. I also love music, and I recently purchased a classical guitar in the fall, and I'm teaching myself on that, and I know I have a long way to go. I'm always finding ways to keep myself entertained and busy, and it's always pretty much learning new things, and I love that, and it makes me happy. For those of you who have wondered, like, who is this crazy lady? Yeah, I'm real. It's no weirdo. It's no random person posting pictures or statuses on Facebook. I am a real person and I do exist, and that is all me. Completely all me. I want to quickly touch base with you guys on a subject which I know it's constantly being talked about all the time, and I'm sure you've seen numerous videos on this or whatnot, but it's a thing that I've always been, I strongly feel about, more so because I've gone through it myself. I feel like it's a continuance even into adulthood, that every now and then you're always going to see things, you're always going to hear things, you're always going to notice things, and it's always going to be from those who you've known with for years to random strangers to even politicians on television. It's definitely something that I constantly see all the time, whether it's with myself or whether it's with other people. And I just feel like I want to talk about it for just a tiny bit. Bullying. It's definitely, I mean, I feel like in a sense we've all kind of gone through that, whether we're the one who's done the bullying or whether we've been a victim of it. And it's not only something that you see in school or something that you experience as a kid. I mean, it's definitely still around, even into adulthood. And I just feel like it's one of those things that even sometimes without us realizing it, we kind of sort of fall into it. I just see so many people who tend to end up being hard on themselves, either after they've become victimized to it, and their hair or their skin tone or their heritage or because of their background, and they wish that they would look a certain way or they wish that they would be different, or they wished for lighter skin, or they wished for so many things. Really ridiculous because we're all unique in our own way, and that's what makes us, in every one of us, even more special. To know that you are only one in this world and there is no one else like you. And I think that's pretty amazing once you think about it that way. It's it's like, wow, like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one in this whole entire world that is me. That I'm the only one that looks this way and this way and this way and this way. And that's just fascinating in itself. And you don't realize that. You don't see it in that way, but over the years you do. So taking my example, pretty much my childhood up until even high school, I guess it started from elementary. I didn't really have any issues. I was sort of the kid that was constantly talking, that I would talk to everyone, that I had so many friends, that I was constantly making friends. But I remember there was this one particular girl that would constantly bully me all the time, all the time, all the time, to the point that I actually felt nervous during lunchtime because I knew perfectly well that I would run into her and then she would run into me and she would say certain things and she would even kind of push me or whatever. And I got to the point that no matter how many times I spoke with the teachers, it wouldn't stop and it wouldn't change. And she would apologize and then she would just start all over again. So later on, I had enough and I ended up confronting her. And pretty much her reasoning was, I picked on you all this time because I really, really wanted to be your friend. And so that kind of took me back, saying, and then I told her, well, if you wanted to be my friend so much, like, why didn't you just say so? You should have come up to me and I would have gladly said, yes, I'll be your friend. I said, you didn't have to put me through that situation of picking on me or bullying me just to be my friend. That does not make sense. So the irony of things is that we ended up becoming friends. And of course, she stopped bullying me. After that, I ended up switching schools when I was in fourth grade. So I was in a whole new territory, again, alone by myself. That's where I met my best friend for, I guess, more than 20 years. And since then, up until maybe like freshman, sophomore year in high school, I was constantly bullied all the time. All the time. Like, I was pretty much bullied because of the way I looked, and I was also bullied because of my income status at the time. And so pretty much, like, I mean, my skin has lightened up over the years, so my mom's genes kind of kicked in because she has really light skin too. And then my hair has also changed a bit over the years, but back then, at the time, I was a little darker. Even in my pictures, I was like extremely, like, half the shade darker of what I am now. Um, and I was constantly bullied because of that. I was bullied because of my skin tone. I was bullied because of my weight. I was bullied because of financial status. I was bullied because of my hair, because at the time I always had it in a ponytail, and obviously my bangs have grown, as you can see, and I had really voluminous hair. And so I was constantly bullied because of that, and because of all the bullying, it made that girl who was constantly social and constantly talkative to becoming extremely quiet and extremely shy. And because of my quietness and because of my shyness, I was bullied even more. Even more. The thing that I dreaded going to school, even to this day, I still say middle school was the worst ever, because that's when everyone starts separating, they start forming their groups and all that stuff, and I didn't have very many friends. It was hard for me to make friends. I was constantly bullied because of all of those things, and because of all of those things, it made me super shy. It made me very, very quiet, that I would sit in class and I would hardly ever say a single word all day, and that I was bullied even more on that. I remember one time when I was in fourth grade, there was this kid who was 2 grades below me. He would constantly bully me at the bus stop, and I remember one time he was like getting on the bus and I was behind him, and he turned to me and he literally said, "I will kill you." I will kill you. And I thought, oh my God. That's how it was. Middle school, high school, it was just the same thing. And I think junior, senior year, it started to get better because I had my own group of friends and we all just kind of hung out together, watched out for one another, and it changed. And so I would say half of my high school, it was just completely fun. It was really the best years. You're always going to run into people who are never going to like you no matter what, and you're always going to run into people who you're never going to like. And honestly, like, that is okay. If you run into people who don't like you for whatever reason, screw that. Forget them. I mean, you know yourself, you know who you are. And I know that at the time I had wished that I had lighter skin. I had wished that my hair was a certain way. I had wished that I was skinnier. And I did. I did get skinnier. I ended up getting into a really, really small size to the point that everyone around me started to get really worried and they thought that I was anorexic, which I wasn't. So that was my goal beginning high school, was to get really, really, really skinny, and I did get. I only ever had yogurt and an apple for lunch every single day because I wanted to get skinny and I didn't want to get picked on anymore because of my weight. I didn't ever really smile because I didn't think that I had a nice smile. And so it was really all of those things that really had an effect on me, and I had wished that I was the opposite so that I could end up being more accepted and I could end up having more friends. But over the years, you realize how stupid every single one of those moments were and how ridiculous it was to wish that I was anything but myself, because now I love everything about myself. Of course, like, I'm no Victoria Secret Angel, and honestly, that's okay. I am fine with it. Like, I love myself the way that I am. I love my curly hair, my waves, even when it gets crazy and it goes against me. I love that. I love my smile. What else do I love? Like, I love the things that I used to hate, I love now. Those who are going through that, to just know that it's not going to last and don't wish to be anything different than who you are, because at one point in your life you're going to come across someone, or you're going to come across people who will love everything about you. And that is what is going to make you so happy, because negative people you're always going to have. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, you're always going to hear racial jokes. You're always going to hear comments about your race, about this and this and this and this. And just brush it off. I mean, they don't matter. They don't matter, because at the end of the day, you're going to have yourself be surrounded by people who actually do matter and who actually do care about you and who do love the way that you are. And that is by far the most important thing above anything else. And I'm probably going to run across people who will make terrible comments. And I'm going to have to constantly remind myself that this person does not matter. I don't know them. They don't know me. I have my friends. I have my family. And those are the only people who matter and who know me. I guess that's just kind of what I wanted to say, is that if you're constantly going through that, don't wish anything else but who you are now. And it's all going to eventually stop, and it's all going to fade away. And if it gets worse, talk to people, tell your family, tell your friends at school, use the resources around you, your teachers, tell whoever, tell your boss, tell your coworkers, because certain things are just not okay. A lot of the times, the ones who do bully, they're going through stuff, they're going through issues, they're either very insecure, or they're going through stuff at home, or they're very jealous of whatnot. I mean, you're always going to run into people who will be very envious and very, very jealous of you. And just try to keep your distance and keep doing what you're doing. That will lead you to succeed in adulthood. You're constantly going to hear jokes. There will be times where you'll have to say, sorry, what you just said is not okay. It's definitely not okay. We may be friends, we may be working together, but you're really going over the line here. Accept who you are, love who you are, and don't let anyone make you feel or think differently. And don't wish to be different than what you are, because that's what makes you even more unique. And you're always going to run into people who will love you for that. Forget those terrible people and just surround yourself with only the ones that matter. But to end this video, I just want to say for 2016, wish myself and every one of you good health, because I think that is definitely number one. You cannot do anything or be anything if you don't have health. Another thing is I would love to travel to a place I have never been. Number three, I'm making it a goal to go to Italy this year. Number four, I am making it a goal to be trilingual, and so I am teaching myself Italian so I can be a little bit more fluent. And my fifth one is to challenge myself on trying something new. So YouTube is my first thing. That's pretty much what I'm really looking forward to for this year, and making new friends, creating more memories. I love that, and so I'm really looking forward to it. And no matter where you are or no matter what you do, what I've learned is to just smile. To just smile and to be strong, that no matter what comes